I came to have a feast during the holidays. Unexpectedly, I ate a big melon. The groom abandons the bride and runs away. What's even more outrageous is that I was pushed onto the stage to save the situation. My brain twitches. Said he wouldn't go. I go. No matter what. This wedding must go ahead. Until you finish the wedding process and return to the room. I didn't know until I saw the bride. This is not a rescue. I screwed myself up. The bride's voice is very nice. Plus I drank some wine. A little drunken and lazy. What else do you say? Cousin. I see. So you like role-playing, right? Today is our wedding day. Then I will play with you. Brat has 7 days off. You lay down for 7 days. If I hadn't seen you playing with your phone, I thought you were dead. I tell you. Your aunt's daughter is getting married tomorrow. You have to be there to fill the scene. Otherwise I'll come back and beat you to death. Why didn't I go? It happens that your aunt's daughter is getting married tomorrow. I must be helping relatives and not outsiders. Which girl? Why am I not impressed? Very reluctantly. I turned over in anger and continued playing with my phone. You don't know how many aunts you have? That's the one you went to their house with when you were a kid. You fool other girls all day long to follow you and do bad things. As a result, he was detained. It made the little girl cry for a long time. You didn't even apologize. Just ran away. I'll give you a good beating when you come back. Have you remembered that? I heard my mother say that. Nearly embarrassed me to death. It's hard to look back on the past in bed. It's even less likely to go. I'm not going to give you a red envelope. Just be angry. Why am I not as good as you? Oops. Haha brat. Mom ripped off my quilt. Said angrily. Look at how dead you are, you're almost lying down and degenerating. You have to go tomorrow whether you want to go or not. Otherwise, watch me come back. As he said this, he made a gesture of hitting someone. It scared me so much that I shrank my head. Reluctantly pouting. Okay. Then, I'm only responsible for eating. The rest is none of my business. Hey hey. When I want to leave my room again. Suddenly I heard him snickering. I suddenly became alert. From what I know about him, there must be a conspiracy. Otherwise, why would he look like his evil plan was successful? I sat up quickly. Call him. Mom. Did you conspire with them to harm me? Little bastard. What are you talking about? I'm your mother. Can it harm you? Hear my words. Immediately I felt unhappy. He glared angrily and came over. Started to scold me again. As long as you try your best. Mom. As for thinking about it like this. Look at your brother growing up. Who is not married? Whose mother is that? I got my grandson today. And I worked hard to raise you to be such a big girlfriend. Not looking for one either. I know how to lie at home all day long. My scalp feels numb just listening to him talking. My mouth makes me want to slap myself both in the face. Why are you talking so much? Okay now. Feeling bad all over. I tell you. I've seen the photos of the bridesmaids. They are all your cousin's good sisters. Very reliable. You kid, be smarter. Try to leave a good impression on others. You have to eat without hesitation. Make sure I don't break your legs when I come back. Did you hear that? Little brat. Finished. He gave me a hard look. It scared me so much that I trembled all over. I don't dare to talk back anymore. Nod. Agreed. Although I don't want to find a girlfriend yet. But I can't help my mother letting go of her weird anger. Besides, it's just a place to eat. Just going through the motions. It's not a blind date. When the time comes, I can fool around with the entire reason. Even if he doesn't put it down, isn't it strong? And what if you fall in love with any of the bridesmaids? Then hey. It's still dark the next day. My mother pulled me out of bed and my appearance was ruined for a while. All I know is to have a wedding banquet. Those who didn't know thought I was the groom. This is too grand, right? You kid, remember to have a sweeter mouth. Try to leave a good impression on the bridesmaids. Otherwise I'll give you a big mouthful. Do you know? I have said it dozens of times since yesterday. If you care about yourself so much, why don't you go? Hey, the second half of the sentence. I don't dare to say. I took a taxi online. Soon I arrived at the address given by my mother. Only then did I discover that the wedding banquet was held in a 5-star hotel. Then what kind of cousin's family is really outrageous? We booked the entire 5-star hotel. All used to entertain relatives and friends. Me walking into the hotel. Like a bumpkin who comes to town for the first time. I was dumbfounded directly. All dishes at the wedding banquet are served in buffet mode. You can take whatever you want to eat. All are high-end ingredients. Why are wave dragons and king crabs in piles? As if he doesn't need money. There are other expensive seafood. The layout of the entire hotel lobby is even more inhumane. I simply don't know how to describe it. Countless roses. Layer upon layer like waves. Around the entire lobby division. Finally gathered into a flower stage. He was piled with champagne and red wine and glowed colorfully under the light. And that scary big cake. I'm silent. Touched his pocket. 500 yuan a pound from my mother. If I show this, I won't be filial piety. It's weird if it's a male relative. Grit your teeth and stamp your feet. The out-of-pocket expense is less than $1,888. Then find a seat and sit down and get ready to eat. He must be able to get his money back. As for the beautiful bridesmaid, I haven't tried wave dragon or king crab yet. Soon and in time, the wedding host came onto the stage. Announced the official start of the wedding. Let the groom come up to the stage first. The groom looks very handsome. The facial features are delicate and distinct. Her skin is fair and her little dress is also very suitable for her. Many people are also exclaiming. The groom's temperament is so good. What does it mean to be a good match? Even I nodded in agreement. Looks very good. No wonder my aunt. It's so good to be so willing to give up the wedding banquet. Has the wedding process begun yet? I saw the bridesmaid group and asked you if you have a crush on that one. My cousin has already said hello. Don't act like a moth. Just behave well. Otherwise, my mother sent me a WeChat message. Behind it is a threatening expression. I exaggerated my face and curled my lips. If there is no reply, please invite the bride to come on stage. As the wedding host's words fell, the sound of thin skirts sounded in the lobby. We got married. The red cloth with the word happy in the backstage was gently lifted up. Slowly walked out of a woman wearing a wedding dress. Woman wearing white tulle. Although the appearance is looming. But it can also be seen that she is a beautiful woman. I copied it so beautifully. I can't sit still. Isn't the cousin in your impression so beautiful? Sure enough, there is an old saying that is true. Girls become more and more beautiful when they are 18 years old. What a talented man and beautiful woman. It is most suitable to use it here. All the relatives and friends in the lobby applauded vigorously. Sending my sincerest blessings. The two newcomers just don't know if it's my imagination. It seems that the smile on the corner of the groom's mouth is very forced. I haven't even taken a single look at the bride who is as beautiful as a fairy. Please ask the groom at such an exciting moment. Are you willing to marry the woman in front of you? My groom is still smiling though. But everyone can see the smile on her lips. Very reluctantly. The lively atmosphere gradually became quieter. Is it possible or impossible? He is my man. It's absolutely impossible to marry you. While all friends and family are waiting for the groom's reply. Suddenly an inappropriate word rang out. An unexpected guest rushed in. He ran directly to the stage and took the groom's hand. Didn't you say that as long as I dare to steal the marriage? Do you dare to go with me? Now I did it. I've thought it through too. Let's elope. When the groom saw the visitor, the smile on his lips was no longer frozen. That face gradually turned rosy. With tears in his eyes, he nodded vigorously. How dare you do this? I'll break your legs. This scene. The groom's father was so angry that he almost breathed a sigh of relief. Didn't come up. Stop all your cards. That private face has gone to the northwest wind. I'm so angry. This is starting to make things difficult for the groom. Gritting his teeth, he glanced back and forth between him, the bride, and the old father, the woman who had come to steal the marriage. At this time, grabbed the groom's hands. Speaking affectionately. I like you. It's you I love. It's not your family's money. As long as you are still by my side. Even if we live on the street and pick up garbage in the future. I have no regrets either. This sentence completely touched the groom's heart. The confusion on his face disappeared instantly. Hold her hand, backhand. He looked at me with firm and fighting eyes. The father, who was already so angry that he began to pant violently. I don't want to be a puppet of the marriage. I'm going to pursue my love. I'm going to live my life. Finished. He took the woman in front of all his relatives and friends. Quickly left the hotel lobby filled with happy characters. I really saw this scene. I patted my thigh hard. It makes my scalp numb. Haven't started eating yet. But I ate a big melon first. Or snatch a bride. This is too outrageous. Let me first make it clear that I don't mean to judge people by their appearance. The woman who ran up and snatched away the groom was not very pretty. But it's not hard to see. Judging from the appearance and clothing. Just an ordinary person. Compared to my cousin? He is as beautiful as a white swan. There's no comparison at all. The groom's head was caught in the door. What are you picturing? Unfilial son, unfilial son. The groom ran away. His father fainted before he could take a breath. He was quickly sent to the hospital. Such a thing happened. Whether it's the woman's relatives or the man's side. It became very embarrassing. No longer staying here. The rest is just talking nonsense. The words were said in a very ugly way. Instead, they put the blame on those who didn't respond much from the beginning to the end. The bride must be your Zhang Wanjun problem. Otherwise, how could our Andy do such a thing? How desperate was he to choose to elope with another woman on his wedding day? What are you farting? We grew up and watched Wanjun grow up. Otherwise, how could we not know what it would be like? At least the one who came to snatch the bride was not his. Why didn't you say he was a brat from your family? First, he bullied our Wanjun into leaving him and running away with another woman on the wedding day. Otherwise, this kind of pickpocketing man would not have become my uncle-in-law. It must be your problem, Zhang Wanjun. Otherwise, how could our Andy elope with other women? He must have done something shameful first. For example, what kind of pre-wedding party invites your ex-boyfriend? Otherwise, someone suddenly slaps me in the face. Keep your mouth clean. How could I almost become in-laws with people like you? I believe it all of a sudden. Your words have become more intense. Otherwise, they will attack each other and be seriously injured. Anyway, the other party's problem is definitely not their own children. That's right. Listen to them bickering and spiraling out of control. My breathing is getting faster. Starting to get annoyed. Shut the fuck up. Recalling the few memories I had with my cousin when I was a kid. I don't know how many times I've done bad things. He is almost always blocking me and protecting me. Now it's my turn to protect him. We can't let him lose his temper. If he doesn't marry me, I'll marry Ginger. No matter what. Even if he comes down. This wedding must go on. My voice is loud. Overcome the noise in the lobby. Immediately everyone's eyes turned to me. In order to make your performance more convincing. I pinched the thigh meat hard. It hurt so much that tears came out of my eyes. I've liked you for a long time. I saw you were going to be married as a wife. Don't mention how dark my world is. Such an unpleasant accident happened. This is what none of us want to see happen. But I think this is the opportunity God gave me. Miss Zhang Wanjun. Can you also give me a chance? I shaped myself into a licking dog who has been in love with him for a long time. Wouldn't it come in handy at times like this? I was winking at him crazily while I was talking. Come down the steps quickly. At least I can't be criticized for gossiping. However. But I overestimated what we used to play with when we were kids. I do bad things. His tacit understanding of taking the blame and being scolded. He didn't react at all. No response for a long time. Just looked at me blankly. Seems to be remembering who I am. She is psychedelic visible to the naked eye. Don't worry about this for now. Okay. Looking at everyone's eyes gradually became weird. I scolded my dear sister Tang all the time. What are you doing standing there dumbfounded? I mean well. Help you step down. Don't make it impossible for me to get off the stage. After today. We are afraid that we will be nailed to the pillar of shame. During every year-end festival, I would be mentioned and made fun of by my gossiping relatives. The corners of my mouth are twitching like crazy. After realizing it, I started to feel embarrassed. His eyes were darting around on the floor. Where is the place? Just let me die. Forget it. Good. Let's get married. The bride on the stage spoke.